Hello guys, you're welcome to Tech Hub YouTube channel. And this channel I'm going to be teaching you on how to create a website. How to create a website from scratch. Now before we learn how to create a website, let's learn what is a website. Now a website is a collection of related web pages and content that is identified by a common domain name published on at least one web server. And websites are created for a particular purpose, like such as news, commerce, education, entertainment, etc. Now, when we talk about web pages, now a web page consists of a particular information. A web page is just similar to, let's say, your notebook. You have a notebook. Then in that notebook, you have different pages like page 1, page 2, page 3, and the rest. So the combination of those pages form a notebook. So that notebook is known as a website, while those pages are known as the web pages. I hope you understand. So those pages have relating content. They have related content. Okay, that's very good. Now I believe you must have seen a website before. We have several websites, like the Jumia is a website. I'm going to be explaining more of the Jumia and all of that in our tutorial. Now the next question is, who needs a website and why? Now, for the fact that you're hearing a website does not mean everyone needs a website. So the need to understand who needs a website is very imperative. Now these are the questions we may be asking. For example, does a tomato seller need a website? The answer is no and yes. Now why is it no? Now a local tomato seller that just sells in cups do not need a website. It is a waste of time. Now going to the market to know those market women that sell tomato in cups in small quantity do not need a website. Do not need a website. You understand? So the yes aspect is she needs a website only if she wants to sell to large customers or she wants to reach a large audience. Now this makes the creation of website possible. So the essence of creating a website is to reach a larger number of people. So instead of selling one to one, you want to reach a larger number where people can see what you do, what you sell on the internet, as long as they have your URL like www.jumia.com. They just type it on the URL and your website launches up. Then from that website, they can see what you sell, they can order what you sell, they can also ask questions about your products. So a lot of things are being done on the website. So instead of you explaining to the person one to one, you just create a website that does that for you. Another example is someone selling toothpaste. Now a toothpaste seller that has only a shop, a small shop, does not need a website. But if he wants to sell in large quantity, he needs a website, and such website is called an e-commerce website. So an e-commerce website is a website that allows customer to purchase an item in your website by making orders and payments. Example of this is called the Jumia, Amazon, eBay, Shopify, etc. Now, in creating this website, you also need what we call the back end programming. I will explain all of this. Okay, so the next questions you may ask is, how do we create a website? Now, to create a website, there are two methods. Number one, using the CMS, which is content management software. Number two, learning several languages such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP MySQL. Now, using CMS, which is content management software, it's a software, a built-in software that has all code written. It is a drag and drop software. So if you want to instead of coding or writing a script or a code, you just drag and you drop it on the software. So in this method, we have a lot, thousands of websites that are built using CMS. Example of a CMS software is WordPress, WordPress, WP. So most websites are built with WordPress. Okay. Now learning WordPress, it's one, it makes your work faster, but the disadvantage of it is you cannot, you hardly edit the code behind that instruction. So it is ideal you learn the basic, which is the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, and MySQL. So these people that know these languages are called the programmers, the web programmers, because they understand the code. Now let's move into our HTML tutorial. Our HTML tutorial. Now the first question is, what is HTML? Now to build a website, I said you need to learn several languages, and one of them is HTML. Now HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Now it is a standard markup language for creating web pages. So remember I said a web page consists of a particular content or relating content. So in building a web page, you need to learn HTML. So HTML also is understood by your web browser. I want to talk about your web browser. They are software that enables you to access the internet or search for information on the internet, such as the Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, SeaMonkey, and all of that. So HTML is a language also that is understood by the web browser. Now, HTML elements are building blocks of HTML pages. Now, these elements are represented by tags. You can see we have the less than and greater than sign. They are known as the tags. And these tags are opening tags and closing tags. For example, we have the P as paragraph, which is opening tag P. Now, the forward slash indicates the closing tag. So in HTML, we make use of tags, opening tags and closing tags. So the closing tag is to terminate that line of code, is to terminate it. If you don't close it, other code will be affected. So there is need for you to close it. But mind you, not all tags have closing tags. Example are the BR, which is the break, does not have a closing tag. The HR, which is the horizontal line, does not have a closing tag. In our next tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to write some little codes in HTML. Thank you, and do well to click on the like button, make your comments, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos. Thank you and remain blessed.